So I managed to finish the Defenders in just 2 days. Therefore, the only thing I have to catch up on is wrapping up season 3 of Daredevil, which I hope to be able to do by the time that the new show starts. That way I'm fully caught up. But to be honest with you, after watching Defenders, I realized that I should have probably watched the other shows. Granted, it's not absolutely necessary to watch Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, but it is helpful. It is helpful because like I had to sort of piece together what was going on, and I was able to do it when I watched Defenders. So Defenders is only about 8 episodes, and it's basically the street level version of the Avengers. And in many ways, it's kind of formatted in a similar way. Rosario Dawson, who's been in the series since Daredevil season 1, as Claire Temple, she's kind of, sort of in a way, like the Nick Fury. She's not really a part of the team, but she knows everybody. So what they did here is they took Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Matt Murdock, and they're forming the team together. But when I say it's formatted like the Avengers, they basically were fighting with each other before they actually came together. The first couple of episodes I thought were interesting because I thought for certain they were going to bring them all together in the first episode, and that's not how it goes down. The show takes its time before they actually bring them together to kind of earn it, if that makes sense. This is kind of like the original 2012 Avengers movie where, they're fighting with each other, like Thor's fighting with Hulk, and you see later on, like Tony Stark is arguing with Thor and Captain America, and they're not getting along, and then, events take place that lead to them getting along. Kind of similar here. Now, what I was not expecting, and I'm letting you know now we're going into spoilers, so if you haven't seen this show, I mean, it's an old show. I just never got around to seeing it. It came out 2017. But what I was not expecting was that they were going to actually resurrect Elektra. Elektra's death at the end of season 2 of Daredevil had big ramifications on his future because he put the cape and cowl, well, not so much a cape, he put the cowl away for a while. And part of the story of the Defenders is that this is how Daredevil comes out of retirement. The Hand being the villain, I thought was a great choice, and I really liked the performances. Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones, I love it. She's very confident, and I like that confidence she exudes. Mike Coulter as Luke Cage is a real highlight. The first scene, well, not the first scene, but one of the first scenes you see when he runs into Claire, well, clothes start flying. That was pretty damn funny, and I can't blame him. And then we have Finn Jones as Iron Fist. I was told, with Danny Rand, I was told way back when this show aired by a coworker at the time that that Iron Fist is the one show that you should avoid. That it sucks. I haven't seen it, but he's there. And then we have The Hand, and they end up being the primary villains of this show, following in the footsteps of Daredevil. And like Loki was the villain for the Thor film and Avengers, it's somebody who's already established, therefore you don't need that much backstory, but there is backstory for sure. The return of Elektra was a surprise. Sigourney Weaver as a villain playing Alexandra, that kind of caught me off guard. I was definitely not expecting that. I didn't look into the show before I started watching it. Didn't even see any trailers. I just wanted to go in and see what I can do. So, and what they can do, what they can do. So, I will tell you this, okay? This show, The Defenders, I thought was very satisfying. The ending of the show had a lot of surprises. The episode where they're all teaming up in that office building for the first time was a lot of fun. Having them wipe out ninjas was a lot of fun. All the things they did with Stick really, really surprised me. Like the whole backstory of the war between like his group and the Hand, and how there's a lot of stuff that he did not tell Maddie. Stick continues to be a character that surprises me, and some of the things he did here were just absolutely ruthless. The show in and of itself is ruthless, very gory. Well, I don't know about the word gory, but it's definitely violent, and it has like the sound design and the sound production of the show really helps, because when you hear the noises, whether it be the weapons clanging or a body part being ripped or whatever, they make it all sound pretty damn gruesome. They really, really do. Finding out about the Five Fingers and what their plan is, I enjoyed that. Now, prior to watching this, I had a lot of people say to lower my expectations. And I guess I sort of did. But to be honest with you, I'm just going to say this to get it out of the way. Yes, this show is not as good as Daredevil season 1 and 2. I thought the character work for those 2 seasons was phenomenal. I thought that the writing for those 2 seasons was great. Maybe not perfect, but great. And it really built upon itself. This show feels like you've got random high spots, some talking, some plot development, another high spot. It really does sort of give me that vibe. And no, Defenders is not as good as Daredevil seasons 1 and 2. But that's also a very high bar to climb, because I feel like Daredevil season 2 and season 1, I think, can compete with any of these Disney Plus shows. And to be honest with you, I think it's better. I mean, maybe outside of, like, maybe Loki, because that one, I mean, I love time travel stories. That one really connected with me and I enjoyed it. But besides that, and in some days I might actually prefer Daredevil. It goes there. Now, again, Defenders is not as good as Daredevil. However, the Defenders, in my opinion, is far more entertaining, far more interesting than a lot of Marvel's recent projects. Meaning a lot of the stuff from Phase 4 and Phase 5, Defenders blows it away. I'd rather watch this than watch Captain America Brave New World. I'd rather watch this than watch Eternals. I'd sure as shit would rather watch this than the Marvels. I mean, a lot of the recent MCU stuff, the stuff that's been kind of panned, it doesn't compare with this. And I was one of the ones that genuinely liked Ant-Man 3. I did like it, mostly because of the performances. I do see everybody's point about, the fact that Kang lost to Ant-Man, but there's more Kangs coming. But I still like that movie. However, I do think Defenders is better. I really do. And I really hope, what I'm hoping for is that they do the Defenders again, since we know that Daredevil Born Again is coming back and Punisher's getting his own special. I say you do another Defenders story, but have it be a movie, like a theatrical movie, where you've got Luke Cage, Iron Fist, the Daredevil. You can throw in, obviously Jessica Jones, but you could throw in the Punisher as being in the movie, not necessarily on the team, but in the movie, as well as Wilson Fisk and the Hand. You could really have a real, what's left of it, you could have a real solid film of the Defenders, although I feel like they may have to reintroduce these other characters. I could easily see them devoting 1 or 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again to Jessica Jones and Luke Cage in them. That way modern audiences can get familiar with them before you put them out in theaters. That's what I think they should do, because the Defenders was a lot of fun. It was the TV version of the 2012 Avengers movie, obviously with a lot more character work and a lot more twists and turns. There were decisions made by Stick that I was not expecting. Alexandra, the Sigourney Weaver character, is very, very interesting. She's very intellectual and sophisticated. She's very, methodical. And what ends up happening to her at the hands of Elektra really did catch me off guard, because I thought that she would be there all the way to the end. So, yeah, I like this a lot. I don't know where they're gonna go with the Daredevil story. I really don't, because I haven't seen season 3 yet. But I definitely have to catch up with season 3, because the Born Again series is coming, and obviously Matt Murdock is alive. I mean, we knew that because he was also in Spider-Man No Way Home. Got a huge reaction in the movie theater when he came out. So, bottom line is, I hope they bring the Defenders back. I enjoyed this, and it's going to make me want to go and watch those other shows, and I will when I have time. There's just way too much on my plate right now. I mean, there's a lot, because I got to do Daredevil season 3 and then Born Again when that drops next week, plus other projects too. So there's just a lot, man. But yes, thumbs up. Again, don't expect it to be as good as Daredevil seasons 1 and 2. It's not. I mean, it's just not as interesting. But it's still a good time, and I don't feel like I had my time wasted. I really, really don't. I thought it was satisfying in most ways. There's a couple of nitpicks here and there that you could point to, but in most ways I thought it worked out well. So what'd you think about the Defenders 2017? Let me know in the comments, leave a like, and I will be back. My next Marvel video will probably be Daredevil season 3, if I can get it done fast enough. That's my big concern. Can I get it done fast enough? I'm out, man. Take care.